What is going on, YouTube? This is Acid Roots Wired. So in this particular episode, this is part 5 of the Rise to Honor playthrough. This is going to be kind of more of like a running in place type episode until part 6 when we get past the bosses I was having problems with in part 4. Basically about this particular one. So yeah, this is going to be kind of an ongoing playthrough as far as pitches like that kind of happen. Because I do remember getting decently far in this game like 20 years ago and stuff like that. But I just don't remember as much. Like I had to look up on like some gameplay websites as far as what to do with this particular boss. It's really not as tough as originally I thought it was going to be. I really thought that was going to be like a game breaker back in 2022 when I attempted this, but now I realize it wasn't really that bad. I mean, I question how some further bosses are going to kind of be, but counterattacking is really not as difficult. You do have to hold like the L1 and R1 buttons and then just press the dual shock control stick in like the direction of the attacker, but it's really, I mean, it's just the fact that the game didn't really, I mean, it did kind of specify that within a relative sense, but it's kind of the concept. It just was not as straightforward as just like the concept. Just, you know, you have to, I don't know. I mean, I was trying to also look on YouTube to kind of find like some stuff as far as just talking about, but the YouTube playthroughs didn't really help that much. But I just found some websites that kind of said some stuff, but kind of being able to say. So yeah, there will be more of this. Just going to kind of resume as far as pitches like that kind of happen. But yeah, I just have to get used to this game a little bit more. But this is, I mean, the thing about this game is it's very kind of monotonous. I don't want to say full-blown repetitive, but just the concept of this kind of, like, there's just repeated segments, just like that helicopter scene. Like, if you get hit by that once, you do have to start the stage, or at least that relative up to the save point over again. Which is just kind of the concept of it, but I mean, this is at least an addictive enough game to where it's not horrible. It's just, I mean, I was getting a little bit kind of testy with having to do it in this recent gameplay segment off screen, but it was just kind of, you know, it's not that foul of a situation. It just makes me question how the rest of this game is going to pan up as far as that particular kind of goes, but I think it should be simple enough. I mean, I don't imagine this game to be impossible or something like that. This makes me question what's left to kind of have with that. But so yeah, I've been doing reviews on the music channel, pitches like that. I've got one coming tonight. I'm going to kind of sandwich this one in between some of that. It's kind of a good concept. I just posted like a Scarface review, so it's a pretty good pitch to kind of get some of that. But yeah, definitely going to do more Scarface down the road. He's a good cat to mess with. I don't know, it's just kind of the concept. I feel like with Scarface, it just doesn't really have like the same full-blown, like, he's kind of underrated in nowadays times. I feel like he's just not one that's kind of had like the better reception as far as how some of those type things have kind of effectively kind of went. Like when you think of Jay-Z or Nas or like Eminem or some of those type folks, or you know, like LL Cool J, folks like that kind of get more respect. But in terms of like Southern hip hop, he's definitely a heavyweight. It's just, I feel like his storytelling's kind of overlooked, some of those type fares. He does have quite a few classics. It's a good concept there, but yeah, there's plenty of these folks. I'm just really going for variety. I've got plenty of varietized reviews. I had a recent Cat Williams review that I did. That was actually a pretty jovial type mixtape. Did appreciate the concept. I like when folks kind of do that sort of thing. Like Kevin Hart actually has a mixtape. I want to eventually get to that. I don't know when it'll be, but he had like a mixtape as far as that particular kind of when. It was like the Chocolate Droppa. He even had like a rap name. I do like when some of these comedic rap type folks kind of do that sort of thing. But, you know, with Kevin Hart, the thing about with his particular movies, speaking of actors with, you know, different sorts of things, is kind of the concept that a lot of Kevin Hart movies have kind of gotten like 1-star or 2-star kind of ratings from like critics, like when you think of Rotten Tomatoes or some of those type things. But I mean, Kevin Hart is really funny. I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, I shouldn't have to say that, but just within the concept of like his Netflix specials, those are thoroughly enjoyable. But I don't know. I mean, nowadays I get kind of tired when like comedians will not put out their comedy specials on like DVD, just because the thing about Netflix is they just don't have every last one. And you look after like Cat Williams, I used to get some of his particular comedy specials from the library just because they were so awesome. I do own Pimp Chronicles 1. I think I own like the second one, which is actually not called Pimp Chronicles 2. It's called like It's Pimpin' Pimpin'. I mean, obviously this is 16, 17 years ago, but I just remember for a while it kind of took me a bit to find that particular one just because he did not call it Pimp Chronicles 2, but both of which are pretty good. I remember seeing a bunch of those back in like the mid-2010s, basically on the same PlayStation 2 I'm playing this here. It's a pretty good concept for that, but yeah, nowadays, some of my bigger problems with Adam Sandler nowadays is just the fact that he does not do movies in theaters. I mean, Adam Sandler has plenty of classics and comedy legends as far as that particular thing goes, but I like Netflix, but not to the severe degree. I miss the old days. I mean, Adam Sandler was a Blockbuster mastermind. By Blockbuster, I mean Blockbuster Video, the video rental store. Plenty of those. You just pick up a movie for $2, get like a Adam Sandler, you get Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison, something like that. This perfect weekend type material. Get a Little Caesars pizza, the simple stuff. Kind of the same thing with this game. I mean, this is just a good rental. I look after it, but yeah, Netflix just kind of has that particular atmosphere about it. But and I realized that Netflix is like the new age kind of Blockbuster and things like that. It was just kind of the concept that, I don't know, I just missed the idea of just purchasing some of those. I just don't like having to pay like a monthly service, because ultimately it adds up. If you're only going to watch the Adam Sandler special like once, it doesn't make sense to pay like the $30 every single time, just or $15, whatever Netflix happens to be. But I just look after it. I don't know, I would purchase some of those, but there were like movies by Adam Sandler I wanted to see, like Sandy Wexler, that kind of had that. But there definitely should have been a sequel to this game. I feel like with Jet Li, this was a good game here. Definitely had a good concept. This is a lot more street appeal. Like Jackie Chan did video games too, but they're a lot more kind of cartoony and just kind of more, you know, like slapstick just within that. But this is definitely a great game for like the PlayStation 2. I mean, obviously it's tacky in some senses, and it's more of like a 6.5, 7 out of 10 in terms of like, you know, critical reception, some of that. I do agree with that. I don't think this is like a classic game, but it is a good game. It just has that replay value of just being able to do it. It's just a hapless kind of week, not hapless, but it's kind of just a routine kind of weekend pitches like that. Just having a few movies, some Little Caesars, some of those type things. It's kind of have. So we do get to the boss in this episode. So he does beat me a couple times. Maybe we don't get to him yet. Just talking here, but yeah, it's just the concept. So you do need to know how to counterattack that going in. If you are following this in like a playthrough type aspect, you do have to know the counterattack a little bit, because it is a concept that he does. Like his particular attack sequence, he can hit you like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times and take like pretty much over, I want to say, even half your health, or at least a third of your health if he gets that combo kind of going. The counterattack will stun him, and then you can just kick the crap out of him as far as pitches like that kind of happens. But you have to keep doing it. It's not, I mean, you know, just within like a standard boss fight, something like that. But happens to be a thing. So yeah, we're almost done with this episode. So yeah, like I said, this is a running in place type episode here. Just being able to say that it's kind of straightforward with that sort of sense. But I look after it. The next episode will, and it's going to have some cutscenes. I don't know if I'll talk through that in particular, just because it's, you know, there's speaking segments with it and that sort of stuff. But I will kind of showcase that, you know, just when I start playing through more games, like if I ever do Grand Theft Auto 3 and they have some of those talking cinematics, I'll probably just talk after the cutscenes, but it's just kind of a primer for what those sorts of situations will kind of happen. But yeah, in the next episode, progress. This is just kind of a monotonous one, but hey, it's more content, so that's kind of the thing. But so yeah, subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy some of that pizza. Just enjoy this playthrough. This is going to be a nice one. This is a pretty filling type one to kind of get here, so I definitely recommend this for like some weekend thrills.